oh, but I just don't have time to eat now. So then I've got to run to school, and then I've got to run to work. Oh, and now it's the other training. So now I've got to go and train. Now I've got to spend time with family. And now I've got to see friends. And you get to the end of the day and you are spent because everything else has been prioritized before yourself, before food, before you've even connected with yourself in the day. And I think that was, and for me, I would do that. I'd just rush around. And I found that I'd actually end up getting to the end of the day and just thinking, I didn't get what I wanted to get done. I haven't been productive today. It's been a bad day. And every day turned into that. And it was because I was basing all of my worth on output, when really my output would have been, a lot more sustainable and a lot more fruitful if I had just woken up and, planned my day, had some food, sat down and had a coffee or a tea and a RED-Scue snack or a RED-Scue fueling jar. And that was the idea behind RED-Scue. It was just like providing that snack there. You wouldn't have the mental and emotional overwhelm, but it would remind you to be like, okay, well, I need to eat that first, or my day cannot start. I can't start my day already running on empty, already running on chaos. And so that's been really, really helpful for me. And I think with food preparation, snacks are the hardest part. Because obviously when you're thinking about dinners and food and planning, there's lots of things out there like, what's it called? HelloFresh. And there's lots of kind of like food delivery services or like prepackaged meals and things like that. But with snacks, it's really hard because you need something that almost has like a protein, carb, fiber, nutrients. And it's really hard to find that. I mean, I found that definitely. And especially with the kind of like carb focus, because everything is very like keto, protein, especially high protein. I mean, I walked into Lidl the other day and it was just high protein everything. And we know that has been going on for a very long time, and people are becoming aware of that and probably quite skeptical of a lot of the protein trends that are going around, which is great. But I find snacks always the hardest part, because you'd have to buy like pretzels, yogurt, cottage cheese, frozen berries just to make one snack. And I get that that's part of making like a bigger meal, but when you want a snack, you just want something very quick. And so that was the idea behind RED-Scue and how it's really helped me. Some other things I think that people don't talk about is that with relative energy deficiency in sport, it is around routine and stability too. The chaos around what happens when there's instability. So for me, whenever holidays used to come up, that would really freak me out because I couldn't have the same routine that I usually had, even if the routine was quite boring and actually wasn't very fun for me at all, because I was just working like 8 to 9 hours, not really resting for breakfast, lunch or dinner, training, running around, not really doing anything fun, because I'd be like, oh, training's my social time. It's the acceptance and the seeing, being really seen and being like, okay, I see you and we're going to get through this. And, these habits can be changed. Of course they can, because you're so strong. I mean, look at what you've been able to do running on low energy. You can certainly live a life full of so much fullness and happiness with, fully fueled.